This is Chapter 7 of What Grows After Goodbye by Alexi Hart. The heat broke the next week, a welcome shift after days of humidity that made even the simplest tasks feel like swimming through molasses. With the breeze came a date Natalie had circled in her mind, September 4th, the anniversary of Ben's death. She knew it was coming, had been feeling its weight for days in the way small things reminded her of him. A song on the radio, the scent of motor oil when she passed the hardware store, the way the late summer light hit the oak tree in her yard. She had planned to spend the morning at the cemetery, as she did every year, bringing fresh flowers and talking to him in whispers only the oak trees could hear. She woke early, showered, and dressed in jeans and a soft sweater. She debated texting Michael. He knew the date was coming. She'd mentioned it in passing when they were piecing together the fundraiser puzzle, but she hadn't invited him to join her. Part of her felt it was a private ritual. Part of her worried it would be too heavy too soon. Michael, morning, thinking of you today. I'm here if you need anything. A wave of gratitude washed over her. She typed back, "Thank you. I'm going to the cemetery. I'll be okay. Maybe we can meet later?" "Of course. Take all the time you need. I'll be working on the fundraiser website. Call me when you're home." She smiled, tucked her phone away, and grabbed the flowers. The cemetery was a 10-minute drive on a road lined with pecan trees. As she turned in through the wrought iron gates, a flock of birds took off from a nearby oak. She parked near Ben's plot and walked along the path, the gravel crunching under her boots. His headstone was simple. Benjamin Rivers, beloved husband and father. She crouched and traced the letters with her fingers, feeling the warmth of the stone from the morning sun. "Hey," she whispered. "It's me." She placed the sunflowers in the bronze vase and sat on the grass. "I know you would hate that I'm sitting on the ground in jeans. You'd tell me I'm going to get grass stains, and then you'd laugh." She smiled through the sting in her eyes. "I miss you. Jacob misses you. He's doing okay, though. He dyed his hair blonde last month. Can you believe it?" She wiped her nose, then glanced around at the quiet cemetery. "I'm seeing someone. Michael Lawson, the kid from our AP English class. He grew up and got handsome. Smart, kind. You'd like him. I hope you'd like him." The breeze rustled through the trees, and for a moment she felt as if Ben was listening, smiling that half smile he used when he wanted her to know he was there. "I still love you," she whispered. "That doesn't change. But I think I can love someone else, too. I hope that's okay." She sat in silence for a while, thinking of the life they'd shared and the life she was building. As she stood to leave, footsteps crunched behind her. She turned to see Carla approaching, a bouquet of white lilies in her hand and a small, tired smile on her face. "Mind if I join you?" Carla asked. Natalie shook her head and hugged her sister-in-law. "Hi." They stood together by the grave, each lost in their thoughts. After a moment, Carla spoke. "It's weird, isn't it? The way life keeps going. I keep expecting to turn a corner and see Ben cracking a joke, or to hear him trying to one-up your banana bread." She smiled ruefully. "I have news." Natalie raised an eyebrow. "Oh?" "I'm pregnant," Carla said, placing a hand on her belly. "We found out a few weeks ago." Natalie gasped, happiness and surprise colliding. "Carla, that's wonderful! Congratulations!" "Thank you." Carla laughed, tears in her eyes. "I wanted to tell you, but I didn't want to make today about me. Then I thought, maybe Ben would like to know too." She patted the headstone gently. "So, big brother, you're going to be an uncle again. Except you're not here, and that's not fair." Natalie swallowed the lump in her throat. He would be so excited. He'd tell everyone he had the cutest niece or nephew on the planet. He'd buy that kid a tiny jersey before they could even sit up. They stood in companionable silence for a while longer. Carla turned to her. "How are you?" Natalie took a breath. "I'm good, mostly. Michael has been a light. It's scary and it feels fast, and sometimes guilty for being happy. But when I'm with him, I don't feel like I'm betraying then, like I'm honoring who I am now." Carla nodded. "I get that. Happiness and grief can coexist. I want you to be happy. Ben would want you to be happy." Her eyes twinkled. "And Michael is very easy on the eyes." Natalie laughed, relieved. "That he is." They hugged again before parting ways. Natalie drove home with the windows down, letting the cool air clear her mind. She called Michael, and he answered on the first ring. "Hey," he said, voice warm. "How was it?" "Hard," she admitted, "but good. I saw Carla. She's pregnant." "That's great news," he said. "Do you want company?" She thought for a second. "Would you like to come over and look at Darlene's Roaring Twenties Pinterest board with me? We have to pick decorations, and I need another sane person's opinion." He chuckled. "I'm not sure I count as sane, but I'm on my way." When he arrived, he hugged her tightly, lingering long enough to let her know he cared without crowding her. They spent the afternoon at her kitchen table, with Darlene's printed Pinterest suggestions spread out like blueprints. There were pictures of Art Deco centerpieces, black and gold streamers, and cutouts of flapper silhouettes. "Darlene is extra," Michael observed, holding up an image of a giant feather centerpiece that looked like it might smuggle an ostrich. "Are we supposed to pluck a peacock?" Natalie rolled her eyes. She's an event planner in her mind. They compromised on a few tasteful decorations: strings of pearls draped over votive candles, jazz-inspired table numbers, and black tablecloths with gold runners. Michael sketched a mock-up on graph paper, surprising Natalie with his neat lines and attention to detail. "Who knew you were an artiste?" she teased. "I took drafting in high school because I thought we'd build robots," he replied. "We made birdhouses." Later in the week, they spent an evening in Michael's parents' garage, where his father Frank insisted on showing them his woodworking tools, despite his doctor's warnings about rest. Frank was a solid man, with a gruff voice and a twinkle in his eye that matched his son's. He listened patiently as Michael and Natalie explained the fundraiser decorations, then patted Michael's shoulder. Michael flushed. "I'm trying, Dad." "Keep trying." Frank's gaze shifted to Natalie. "And you. Thank you for feeding this one. He needs someone to keep him from eating frozen pizzas all day." Natalie laughed. "He keeps me entertained." Michael's mother bustled in with sweet tea and insisted they all sit down. She regaled Natalie with stories of Michael's childhood mischiefs, like the time he tried to install a hammock in his bedroom by drilling into the drywall and pulled down half the wall. Michael groaned, while Natalie nearly choked on her tea from laughing. During one of these evenings, Michael's ex Claire appeared in town like an unexpected plot twist. Natalie first spotted her while she was leaving the grocery store. A tall woman with chic short hair and an expensive designer bag stood by Michael's truck, sunglasses perched atop her head. She looked like she belonged on a magazine cover rather than in Willow Creek. "Nat," Claire said when Natalie approached, extending a manicured hand. "I'm Claire, Michael's friend from Atlanta." Natalie shook the offered hand, noting how Claire's nails were perfectly shaped and painted. "Nice to meet you," she said politely, heart rate picking up for no good reason. "I've heard a lot about you," Claire said, smiling with too many teeth. "Michael and I co-founded the company. We keep in touch. I was passing through on my way to Miami for a photo shoot and thought I'd say hi. He wasn't home, so I thought maybe I'd see him here. She looked around, taking in the small town scene like it was quaint tourist attraction. How do you like Willow Creek? Natalie bristled slightly at the condescension in her voice. I've lived here my whole life. It's home. Claire nodded as if that made sense. Michael always spoke fondly of it, though I never thought he'd move back permanently. She leaned in as if confiding a secret. He's brilliant. He could be doing so many things. I hope he doesn't get bored. Natalie's jaw tightened. He seems happy. Claire's smile remained fixed. I'm glad. Anyway, it was nice to meet you. Tell Michael I'll call him. We've got some business to discuss. She winked and sauntered off, heels clicking on the asphalt. Natalie stood there for a moment, adrenaline buzzing, confusion and insecurity swirling. She had never been a jealous person. She trusted Michael. But Claire's words had wormed into her brain, planting seeds of doubt. Could he be bored here? Was she enough? Could their quiet life compete with the excitement of co-founding companies and jetting off to photo shoots? When she told Michael about the encounter later, he groaned. I'm sorry, Claire is intense. We dated briefly after the company sold, but it was more convenience than anything. She's all about the next big thing. I should have told you she might reach out. She emailed me last week asking about consulting on a marketing campaign. Do you want to? Natalie asked, trying to keep her tone neutral. He shook his head. No, I've done that life. I don't want it anymore. She doesn't understand that. She thinks I'm wasting my potential here. His eyes searched hers. Do you think that? That I'm wasting my time in Willow Creek? Natalie's heart softened. No, I think potential is wasted when you do things that don't make you happy. If you were miserable here, I'd tell you to go. But you're not. He exhaled in relief and pulled her into a hug. Thank you. I'm where I want to be. Claire will get used to it or not. It's not my problem anymore. She hugged him back, burying her face in his neck and inhaling his scent. That's it. Preparations for the fundraiser ramped up as September rolled on. The theme quickly consumed Natalie's free time. She and Darlene spent evenings in the community center, painting cardboard cutouts of vintage cars and gluing sequins onto headbands. Michael set up a website that allowed people to purchase raffle tickets online, and he convinced the band to play for free by offering to fix their amps and buy them pizza. One night, as they sat on the community center floor surrounded by glitter and glue, Michael looked at her and grinned. You have glitter in your hair. She brushed at her head, groaning. It's going to be there until Christmas. I like it, he said, picking a piece off her eyebrow and flicking it away. His expression softened. It suits you. You sparkle. She rolled her eyes, but her chest tightened briefly. You're cheesy. I've been told. He leaned in and kissed her, unbothered by the glitter transferring to his face. You make me cheesy. He rested his forehead against hers for a moment, the smallest touch somehow more intimate than anything else. The night before the fundraiser, the community center buzzed with last-minute preparation. Tables were set with black cloths, strings of pearls draped across the tops, and small vases filled with feathers. The band rehearsed in the corner, their saxophone notes bouncing off the cinder block walls. Darlene ran around with a clipboard, barking orders and quoting The Great Gatsby. Natalie took a step back and surveyed the scene. It looked magical, like they'd created another world inside the drab community hall. Michael walked up behind her and slid an arm around her waist. Not bad, huh? He murmured. Not bad at all, she replied. She leaned into him, feeling his steady presence. Thank you for being here. I wouldn't be anywhere else, he said. As they stood there, she thought about the journey that had brought them to this moment. It had only been weeks, but in some ways, it felt like they'd lived a lifetime. Life was messy and complicated, but she was beginning to understand that she could hold joy and sorrow, hope and fear, past and future, all at once. She could honor Ben and build something new with Michael. She could be a mother, a friend, a partner, and still figure out who she was outside of those roles. As she looked around at the glittering decorations and the people buzzing with excitement, she realized she wasn't alone. She had a community, a family by blood and by choice, and a man who held her hand through it all. Tomorrow's gala would bring its own chaos and charm, but tonight, in this moment, Natalie felt content. She reached up and kissed Michael, right there in the middle of the community center, glitter in her hair and glue on her fingers, and he kissed her back like there was nothing more important in the world.